Hey, besties and bosses. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. How is everyone's week going? Happy February. How's the beginning of your month going? Love to hear what some of those big goals for the month ahead are. Today, I want to dig right in. We've got Instagram live with us as well. I want to dig right into the topic that I brought for us, which is no one cares what your ideal client had for breakfast. So we're going to be talking about ideal clients. So I think some of you probably know this. If you don't know, I was an actress before I became a coach. Before I moved to New York City, I spent a decade in LA doing the acting thing. And I had this great acting coach who was like, no BS, no fluff. He just always got right to the point. And whenever we had a new scene, let me move this screen over, make sure I can see you guys. Whenever we would get a new scene or a new character to work on, he would go to the front of the class and he would remind us, no one cares what your character had for breakfast, and either do they. Hey Jennifer, how are you? Happy Friday. And hey, I see a few friendly faces on Instagram as well. Please say hi and let me know if you have any questions. So my acting coach would remind us that no one cares what our character had for breakfast. And what he was referring to is the casting directors who would essentially give us our job or not give us our job and our audience. Because a common strategy for actors, and what a lot of actors will do, is we will get our scene, we'll get our material, and we will want to do the work. We'll want to dig in. So we'll dive in, we'll create this whole world for our character, and we'll know all of the details about them. We'll know their favorite hobbies. We'll know their childhood traumas. We'll know their favorite foods to eat. And then we'll go to perform our scene. And the thing with this is sometimes people will spend all this time working on their character and they'll miss the whole point of the scene. And they'll go to perform the scene and it'll be, say, a scene between two coworkers in an office that's just a normal conversation. And instead of playing out this conversation, suddenly there would be this dramatic accent, or they'd decide that really they're in a fight and it would be all fired up and angry, or they'd have some weird behavioral tic, which, as a side note, believe it or not, there is an acting guide out in LA floating around that actually suggests you do this. So just a great testament as to how we all need to make sure we're paying attention to that advice we're reading and taking. And so while the actor would feel good because you're like digging into the scene and you're just like, you know all the stuff about your character, they'd miss the entire point. They'd miss exactly what was happening in the scene right then and there, what their character wanted and what their character needed in that moment. And I think this is something that a lot of us can get tripped up in our businesses as well when it comes to our ideal clients, when it comes to our client avatars. Because a lot of us, I think, know the importance of our ideal client. This is such an important piece to our business. It's something that informs so much of our business. We hear about this. And when we dig into it, we will dig into some of these details and we'll miss what is essential. We'll dig into the stats and the demographics, but we'll miss the psychographics that are so important. We will fill out worksheets. We'll fill out cheat sheets. We'll flesh out our client avatar. We'll give it a hair color. We'll give it clothes. We'll even give it a name, but we'll forget to make it human. It becomes sort of like that acting scene. We create a character instead of a real person, and we miss what is actually going on presently with our ideal clients. Is this resonating with anyone? Is this ringing a bell? I know this is definitely something that I was taught when I started my business, and this was an exercise I dug into, and I was told to give my ideal client avatar their hair color, their name, et cetera, and I ended up missing so much of the juicy details that are so essential. And to be fair, I'm not knocking that exercise. If that exercise helps you to connect with your ideal client, by all means have at it. But what I find happens for a lot of us is we dig into that and we feel so good because we've done all the work, and then we end up stopping short of what's really important, which is digging into and really getting to know our clients on an intimate level, getting to know who they are as a human. Jennifer says, forgetting to make it human. Oh my God, yes. Yes, we forget that all of our business really is about the human connection, the human relationships. And that is what our ideal client is really about. It's getting to know who are those humans that we can serve, who are the people we can connect with. And I promise you, your ideal client cares a whole lot less that you know details about them, like their favorite TV show or their favorite post-workout snack. And they care so much more that you know what their struggles are and that you can help them, or that you know what their desires are and that you can make them feel more pleasure or more enjoyment in their life. You know, I'm going to channel my acting coach a little bit and just go out on a limb and say, your ideal clients don't care that you know what they have for breakfast unless you're a nutritional coach or unless you're maybe helping them lose weight. But you get what I'm saying here. They care so much more that we understand them on an intimate level and that we can help them. So as humans, we are all wired to seek pleasure and to avoid pain. This is something we have all evolved from our hunter-gatherer days as a way to be. And this is how we approach most of our life. This is also how we approach our buying decisions, which if we have a business, essentially people are buying something from us, whether it's a service or a product. And we tend to buy based on these factors, either to seek pleasure, something that gives us enjoyment or makes our life more beautiful or more enjoyable, or to avoid a pain, to solve a problem. And these are the things we really want to think about when it comes to our ideal client. We want to get to know them on such a deep level that we know what their problems are, that we understand them like we would a good friend or like we would a partner in our life. Just think about those relationships. It's so much more important we know who they are than maybe their favorite color. When we think about our ideal client, we also want to think about those pleasures they desire, those things they need. So my invitation, just checking if I have any questions here, my invitation for all of us as we think about our ideal clients, as we think about our ideal client avatars, absolutely, if you want to think about those exterior details and the demographics, I'm not knocking that, I'm not saying don't do that, but I would love to invite all of us to really dig into what matters, to dig into our clients and think about what makes them tick, what ticks them off, what brings them joy, what makes them happiness. Where are they struggling? Where are they feeling stuck? Where could they really use some help? And to dig into those specifics, to dig into those psychographics, and to really pay attention to those details and to place more emphasis on that so that we're not essentially overacting or performing like I was speaking about with the acting example. And I'll tell you, when we can understand our clients on that deep level, on that intimate level, on that personal level as humans, it makes all the difference in the world. And I promise you, they will not care if you know what they had for breakfast or any of those other minor details. So that is what I wanted to jump in and talk about with you today, because this is something that has absolutely come up with some of my clients, and this is something that I definitely came up against when I started my business. And I think I probably wasted a whole week trying to come up with my ideal client avatar's name instead of some of these details. I can't tell you how much time I wasted on some of those details. So I hope this was helpful for you. If anyone has any questions, if anyone has any thoughts, pop them below if you're watching this on the replay. And not, I'm going to actually hop off because I have a call with one of my ideal clients in a few minutes, and I will be back next Friday with another topic for you. So I'm wishing you all so much love. I'm wishing you a happy Friday, a happy February, and your version of success. Talk to you guys soon. Let's see, end here. And Jennifer says, makes so much sense. Thanks, Jennifer. I'm glad that this resonates. It's something I definitely got tripped up on when I started my business and just really wasted a lot of time on, versus the details that I find just connects us all so much faster and that really just speaks to and informs our business. So glad that this makes sense and this resonates. And thank you for being here live with me. It's always fun to have someone live, so it actually is a conversation. So wishing you a very happy Friday and weekend, and I will see you all next week. Bye.